We spend over $2 million a month on Meta ads, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact process we use to scale brands in 2026. So the first thing we do when a new brand starts working with us is we spend the entire first week conducting purely research. Now what this means is we look at all their customer reviews as well as all the reviews of their competitors, and we start to get a picture of how their product is being received and also how their product is being spoken about. Because it's really important when you create your ads to be speaking the same language and to be speaking to pain points that your customers have and have already expressed through their reviews. So the way we do this is we have an in-house review scraper that basically pulls all the reviews that are online and collates them into a sheet. So I'll walk you through this now. So for example, for this brand, this is just an example. This is Grunz, and we did a test scrape for them. For the purpose of this video, we input the brand name, the domain, and Amazon ASIN, so their most reviewed product, and their Trustpilot URL. From there, we then run the scrapers and pull their reviews. So for this, you can see them all here. We did it for 20 Trustpilot reviews and then for their first page on Amazon. And what you can see is you can see their rating, the review text, the title, and the date. So all of this stuff is really, really important. And then once you do have these, you can then start to see what the main desires are for this brand and product, what hooks we can start to use, what messages we can start to incorporate, and it then also gives us an AI analysis of this. Now, this isn't the full extent of what we do, because after we pull these reviews, we then put them through much more rigorous prompts on Claude or ChatGPT. We then use this to construct the messaging. However, just for the purpose of this video, I've just done it really quickly to kind of give you an idea without going through all the steps. We also do this for competitors. So as you can see here, we can say that maybe these are 4 competitors of Grunz. Similarly, what we do is we get the name, the domain, the ASIN, the Trustpilot URL of the competitors. It pulls the reviews. It also kind of gives us a blue ocean, so a way the brand that we're working with can differentiate from one of their competitors. And for the purpose of this video, I also asked it to find 3 things that a brand does well and 3 things that it could improve on. And that can kind of help us start getting into the mindset of writing ads and creating ads that fill a gap, are more likely to convert. Again, all the reviews are here. So we've got tons and tons of reviews now of people, of real people speaking, honestly about their experience with the brand and experience with the product, which you can then use in our messaging. So going back to the steps, so this is the first step. So we do this for Amazon, we do it for Reddit, we do it for any forums, Trustpilot, YouTube, and Twitter. And we try and always get around 1,000 customer voices. So usually the brands we work with already have 1,000 customer voices of their own reviews. Some smaller brands, we would also obviously use that for competitors. So minimum is 1,000, oftentimes it's a lot more. From there, we then move on to step 2, and we start creating avatars based on specific desires. So, for example, we can use a fitness brand, and when people online talk about wanting to get stronger or wanting to build more muscle, you really want to start understanding why it is that they want to achieve those goals. These are just examples, but I want to get stronger could be because they're embarrassed about a skinny physique, or someone that wants to build muscle could be frustrated about progress. And the reason this is important is that you will speak to these people in different ways through your ads. This is a really important step of anyone looking to advertise on Meta and advertise anywhere really, is you need to understand the desires, you need to understand specific avatars and how you can really connect with them. As I say, this is a continuation of that. So you then start to build avatars. So after doing your 1,000 review mines, you will begin to create specific ICPs. We try and always have at least 5. With that, they all have a core emotion. It's really important in your ads to keep that emotional thread throughout the entire customer journey, which we'll also talk on later. So step 3 is avatar language extraction. How do people speak about the problem? Someone who is frustrated about not building enough muscle quickly enough is speaking in a different way to someone that's never gone to the gym for the first time and looking to get into it. And they'll use different vocabulary, they'll have a different psychological mindset when it comes to the products they're consuming to achieve their goals. You really want to be speaking in their language. So when we do the review mining, part of the research that we do after we've collated all the reviews is to try and find specific words that are frequently mentioned to put them in buckets relative to their avatars. So then step 4 is market awareness analysis. And again, this builds on what I said earlier about speaking to the right people at the right time, because everyone's at a different stage of their journey. The messaging that you use to speak to them won't be effective if it doesn't really match where they're at. So we usually break it up into these levels. So unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. And then from that, we construct messaging for those people at those specific stages. So, someone might not know they have a problem. So you need to alert them to the problem. And someone might be aware of the problem, but they don't care enough to get a solution. So you need to press on that problem and show them that it's an issue that needs solving. Similarly, they might know that solutions exist, and then just evaluating options. So that's when you then need to showcase the USP of your product and why your product is better than the rest. And then again, they could be already aware of your product, they just need that extra push to buy. So again, you might need to lead with an offer and give them more proof. You can run static ads with testimonials to just give them that extra bit of confidence that your product is worth buying. And then obviously your most aware customers, they're ready to buy, and you just need to seal the deal and provide them with an offer and just get them to buy. As you can see, at each stage of this journey, you're going to be speaking about your product in a very different way, and your messaging is going to be completely different. And it's important that you know this so that when you construct your ads, you're bearing this in mind. The next step is to test and identify winners. Once you've constructed your avatars, you've extracted the language, you've decided at which stage of the journey the majority of your customers are at, you then start to test, and then you will naturally start to see winners emerging. Now, the key distinction here is that a lot of people talk about winners in terms of ads. So they want to find a winning ad. But what we're interested in is finding a winning desire. Because once you find a winning desire, that then unlocks a world of possibilities on what ads you can run and how you can speak to this desire in different ways. Finding one specific ad that's a winner doesn't lead you any closer to building a big base of winning ads and a healthy ad account, whereas finding winning desires is much more useful. So then once you've identified the winning desires, you then start to build your complete funnel, which usually looks something like your ad, a landing page or pre-sale page, and the checkout. And what you want to do is you want to make sure each of these steps are congruent with each other. So your ad, if it goes to a specific landing page or a specific pre-sale page, like a listicle, an advertorial, it needs to speak in the same way. So ad to landing page congruency is obviously very, very important. And then as well at checkout, it needs to carry that same psychological thread all the way through. So now that I've explained our process, I'm just going to quickly show you some of the static ads we create, some of the listicles we create, pre-sale pages that we do based on the avatars that we've created. So, for example, here, these are some before and after photos that convert really well. Here we've got some testimonials. It's really important, as I said, sometimes providing that extra bit of proof is what a customer needs to pull the trigger and buy. And then these are the pre-sale pages and the custom listicles. As you see, there's congruency between the ad and the page, although it adds a further friction point as you're going from ad to pre-sale page to checkout page. Conversion rates just skyrocket when you do this, and you do this in the correct way. The results that we've seen speak for themselves. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are a brand spending over $15,000 a month on Meta and would like us to run your Meta ads for you, then please head over to our website and book a call with either myself or a member of my team. After the call, we usually conduct a free audit anyway, so it's a good opportunity to get a second pair of eyes in your ad account and provide you with a strategy moving forward. So thank you and have a great day.